Having bought a pair of handcuffs and shackles for the legs, I would shackle myself to practice being in them in case I was ever arrested. You can't move too quickly. You'll hurt your ankles and you'll hurt your hands. I assumed with the mindset I had that I would be spending a lot of time in prison. Because I happen to own the shackles and handcuffs, I have used them on 2 people that I can recall. With blackouts I had, who knows, maybe there's more.
Well, for a living, John traded grisly collectibles on the internet like a real body bag and a fake severed limb. But what was really in demand was serial killer artwork. So using the nickname Sawman, John began to buy and trade this type of art. Now, while doing this, Sawman got the attention of one of America's most notorious serial killers, whose weapon of choice was, you guessed it, a saw. Take a look.
Around the year 2000, I formed a relationship with one of the world's most evil serial killers, Arthur Shawcross. And I had been selling his artwork on eBay, and so we just formed a business relationship, and it became a very close friendship, and I call it a Brotherhood of Ghouls. Arthur Shawcross is known as a Genesee River Killer, and he's killed at least 14 people.
Rochester police have been called in for what may be the 13th victim in a string of homicides.
FBI and police think it's at least 19. He's told me it's a lot more than that. Writing to him was a form of therapy for me, and unwittingly, he was like a demon therapist for me. One aspect of Shawcross's crimes was that he did cannibalize some of these women. I feel it was his way of connecting to these people, and I could understand that and empathize with that. Even though Shawcross was a notorious serial killer, he was kinder to me and more fatherly to me than even my own biological father. We had a bond. It's a very exotic strain of deviance that few have to hunt humans. There's few people who could see eye to eye with that.
A very exotic strain of deviance. That just seems to glamorize a very sick sort of thing. Here's an excerpt from the book. Shawcross still never made me regret my eccentric ways, even as family members abandoned me along with all but the most intensively offbeat friends, and there were not many. You just heard what you said back on that tape. You said, this was a very exotic form of deviance, hunting humans.
Yes, it is, again, a very rare frequency of thought. And
that's not what you said. You said it's exotic.
I consider it an exotic form of evil, we'll say.
Clearly, Shawcross is not a role model. I mean, he's in prison for arson for 5 years, murder, 2 children for 25 years. He serves, half of that. They'll let him out because they say he's not a threat anymore. He then is convicted killing 12 women, gets 250 years. He says he kills for revenge. Cannibalism, misogynistic, he's racist, he has no remorse. And
well, the thing is,
this is the guy that you say is a good friend.
I mean, I admit it's beyond bizarre, and I don't mean to glorify it. It's very difficult to find people I could relate to, obviously.